Welcome back to Bullet Catcher Gaming. This is of course Ghost Recon Breakpoint. This is going to be a two-part series based on the weapons that we would like to see in year 2, or the content that is coming within 2021. Before we get into the video, I would just like to say thank you to Soggy Waffles for supplying the thumbnail. He's over on the Discord, and this entire discussion with these weapons is based on conversations that we had on the Discord. So if you'd like to jump onto the Discord with us, the link is on the description below and on the also on the front of the channel. We regularly have chats on there. We do voice chats on there. So if you want to come in and have a voice chat with me or some of the other guys, please feel free to join. It's a nice little place. So what we're going to do is, like I said, we're going to break this into 2 videos. And the first video, we are going to cover assault rifles, 5 assault rifles, 5 LMGs, 5 sniper rifles, and also 5 DMRs. The other thing I'd like to say, just very quickly, is thank you so much for all your recent feedback on the recent videos. We love hearing your comments. I will reply to all comments that you leave on videos. But sometimes it does take me a little while, and sometimes YouTube can play up a little bit, and it kind of, I don't know, sometimes comments seem to appear a week later when I didn't see them to start with. It's very odd. So please bear with me on that. I will reply to you, I promise. It can just take a few days. I still work and things like that. So yeah, it can take a little while, but thank you, and appreciate your patience with that, but I will reply. Okay, so just remember, these are weapons that we had a very long discussion based around this. We thought about weapons that would be interesting. There's some older weapons, some very new weapons in there, and we just thought, you know, that these would be a nice fit for the game. We're not saying that any weapons that you guys might like shouldn't be in there. That's not the case. We just thought of some ones that we thought would fit really well. If you've got other weapons or you don't like these ones, let us know. We'd love to know what they are. When it comes down to it, we're going to give you 5 of each. And on the second video, we're going to cover the sidearms, the shotguns, the grenade launchers, and things like that. So they're going to be on the second part. But we'd like to know what you guys would like to see. Like I said, there's only 5 of each, so there could easily be 10 new assault rifles, so there's room for plenty more. So please let us know what you'd like to see. So here we go. Let's start with assault rifles, and the number 1 is the M16. Now, the M16 was adapted from the Armalite AR-15 for the US military, and it went into service in 1964. There are 4 variants, the A1 to the A4, 4 main variants, and it fires the 5.56 ammo. I'd like to see a way of having all 4 variants in the game without effectively having 4 different versions, if you know what I mean. So have the gunsmith be able to create all 4 within that one weapon. Next up, the XM8. Now you might recognise this weapon. It's appeared in quite a few games over the years, especially in the last, say, 10 years or so. It was designed by H&K in the late 90s to be a part of the Objective Individual Combat Weapon Program. It's a 5.56 and it shares its framework from the G36. It was meant to be able to swap barrels, so you could put grenade launcher, make it a sniper, all that kind of stuff, or just a battle rifle, all that kind of stuff. You should have been able to swap round, change about. I think it got way too pricey and it kind of just died, but we think its look fits really well in Breakpoint and we'd like to see it in there. Next up, the MK16. Obviously this is a classic, also known as the FN Scar, built by FN Herstal and FN America. This is a 5.56 and it's the mainstay of the American Special Forces units. This is a legendary weapon, everyone knows this, and really it should be in the game. We need it in there. Now this next one is my personal favourite weapon probably ever. Everyone will know this one, the ACR, which is the Adaptive Combat Rifle. It's a 5.56, probably made famous originally by Modern Warfare 2. It's also known as the Masada. It was designed by Magpul Industries, and then licensed out to Bushmaster and then Remington. That was more recently. And it was definitely one of the best rifles in Wildlands. The last one on the assault rifles list, we are looking at the AK-19. Now this is another 5.56 rifle, and it was made by Kalashnikov. Obviously we've got quite a few AKs in the game already, but this is the newest of the AK series, and it is replacing the AK-12. So there's our 5 assault rifles that we'd like to see added into the game. So let's move on now. We're going to go on to LMGs next. So what 5 LMGs did we pick that we'd like to see? The first one is the NG-SWT, which is America's new next generation 6.8 chambering squad weapon. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Probably the best looking maybe LMG that I've ever seen. It's full of interesting technology as well, like a miniaturized ballistics computer and a specially designed fire control system. This thing is gorgeous. We absolutely need it, and it would fit in the aesthetic as well, I think, of the game. Next up, the M240 Bravo. This is a belt-fed 7.62mm absolute monster, designed by FN in Belgium, manufactured in America. It's been in service since 1977, and it's still going really strong today. This is a classic, again, needs to be in the game. But this next one is probably a legend, the M249. The M249 light machine gun, also known as the Squad Automatic Weapon. It's a 5.56 designed by FM Herstal in Belgium. It was adapted from the Belgian FM Minimi light machine gun, and it's been in service since 1984, and it's still in service today. And it is probably one of, if not the most recognised LMG in the world, I would say, possibly. Maybe other than this next one, the M60. This is number 4 on our list. So it was in service from 1957, designed by Sacco Defence. This legendary 7.62 general purpose machine gun is also known for its nickname, the Pig. It's been used at some point by every single branch of the United States military. But it's been replaced now, but it is still used by military units across the world. It's an absolute classic. Always remember that scene in Commando. Next up, the last LMG, the UKM 2000. So, okay, this one is quite hard for me to say, so I will do my best. The Zakladi Mechanizne Tarnow, may have just butchered that. UKM 2000. It is made in Poland. It was designed in the year 2000. It fires the 7.62 round. It was designed because older Polish weapons couldn't adapt to the standard NATO round, so they built a completely brand new one that did, and based it on the PKM. Now there are 5 LMGs, nice ones in there, some classics and some very new kit. So let's move on to sniper rifles. Okay, this is a favourite of mine, the AS-50. The British AS-50 is a 50 cal BMG anti-material precision rifle produced by Accuracy International in England. It's recently been made famous, It's one of the go-to weapons in Call of Duty Warzone. This is a very accurate weapon that utilises explosives or incendiary ammunition and is also semi-automatic. Next up is one that you'll probably all recognise, the M200 Intervention. The CHATAC Intervention is an American bolt-action sniper rifle which can be classed as an anti-material rifle. Chambers .375 or .408 CHATAC ammunition. It's one of the best sniper rifles on the market today for distance and was based on the DMRs Windrunner. It's also another Call of Duty classic weapon. Now this next one's a really unusual one, but I think it would fit the game aesthetic really nicely. It is the Blazer R93 Tactical. Produced from 1997 onwards, the Tactical was made in Germany and the military version of the Blazer hunting rifle. Its interesting design is because the weapon does not have a traditional receiver and is a bolt action. It's a nice one, really unusual, but I like it. The fourth one on the list is the M110 or the M110. This American sniper rifle chambers the 7.62 ammo and is manufactured by Knights Armament Company. It uses the SR25 as its development starting point. It started service in 2008 and is still being used today. Now the last sniper rifle on our list, this one's a classic, the M40A5. Now the American M40A5 is the fourth generation of the M40 rifle, which dates back all the way to the 1960s. It was based on the Remington 700 short action rifle. It fires 7.62 ammo and it started service in 2009. So they are our 5 sniper rifles we'd like to see in game. So last but not least on this video anyway, we are going into DMRs. First on the list, the M12. The special purpose rifle is semi-automatic DMR that was in service until 2017 with the US military. It was designed to be shorter than standard weapons in the same class, and it also fires the 5.56 NATO round. Now this next one might be slightly controversial because some people might say it's not a DMR, but we put it in here because we believe, looking at the way that Ubisoft class weapons, I think they would put it in as a DMR. But I can see the argument that it is not a DMR. The G3. The Gerwer 3 was developed in the 1950s by Heckler & Koch in collaboration with the Spanish CETME, and it fires the 7.62 ammo type. It's an absolute classic. It's quite a legendary gun. Everyone knows the G3. And we come on to the next one. This is another favourite of mine, especially in Rainbow Six. It's the gun that Rainbow Six Siege, should I say. It's the gun that's used, I always use with Twitch, the HK417. Now the HK417 is a DMR designed in Germany, obviously by Heckler & Koch, and is a larger caliber version of the 416 using the 7.62 ammo. And its role is mainly penetrative, and it's all about stopping power. And it's also a really nice looking weapon. I'd love to see this one in the game. 2 more to go. The L129A. So this was specially designed for British soldiers in Afghanistan. They decided that assault rifles weren't getting the job done in certain areas for patrolling soldiers. So in 2010 they designed this weapon. It's quite a nice looking weapon, I think. It fires the 7.62 and it came into service in 2010. It was made by the US company Lewis Machine and Tool. So it's a really nice one. I like this one. Last but not least, another classic. This is a gorgeous gun. We need this in here. The M1A SOCOM. Obviously designed in 2004. It packs a 30 caliber horsepower into a package that's kind of typically reserved for a lot lesser guns. It fires the 7.62 and it is impervious to weather and rough handling, which is always good, a bit like the H&K 416 is. So there we go, 20 weapons there, broken down into 4 categories, 5 in each. What do you think? Would you like to see some of these? Which ones would you like to see replaced? What other weapons would you like to see? I'd really like your feedback on this one. It'd be fantastic. And hopefully some of these weapons are going to end up in the game. We will soon see. The roadmap should be coming soon, though we probably won't find out about the weapons as yet. But there you go. That's it. So we'll see you in part 2 if you'd like to join us for that. And in the meantime, hopefully we'll see you over on the Discord for a chat. Take care. We'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.